As graduation approaches and your high school days are ending, many high school students have not considered college or even looked into the possibility of paying for college, and they are not prepared. According to Matthew G. Tierney, many high school students from low-income families are not prepared for college based on the fact that they think they cannot afford it. So many high school students think that college is just a dream that they cannot obtain. As a result of not being prepared, many high school students do not do their work or do not show up to class because they think, I'm not going to go to college anyway, so why bother? According to Mahedra Pujaki, I'm saying it wrong, many high school students, or as tuition costs increase, more and more families are looking to CPAs to find out better ways to prepare for college and pay for it, including having them fill out the FAFSA for them. In this speech, I will teach high school students and their families how to apply for financial aid and how to apply for financial aid. The first phase to applying for financial aid requires gathering information and preparing paperwork ahead of time. The second phase is filling out the FAFSA, which is needed to apply for financial aid online. The third phase is following up on deadlines and turning in any additional paperwork needed to complete the application process. In the first phase, a student needs to gather necessary paperwork from themselves or their parents, which includes Social Security card, driver's license if they have one, W-2s, any tax return information, which could be the parents or the students depending on their dependency status, bank statements, and any other paperwork that includes financial information for the year. Once the student has gathered all this information, FAFSA has a paper online that helps keep paperwork organized that's FAFSA on the web. Once the student has all this paperwork obtained and ready at their fingertips, they are ready to sit down and complete their FAFSA. To begin the FAFSA, a student needs to go on to www.fafsa.ed.gov. To begin the process, there is a Start Here button, and then it says Login. To begin the login process, the student needs to enter name and social security number and birthday, and this will begin the login process for them. Once the student is beginning the FAFSA, they need to apply for a PIN, which I have a visual aid here that says how a student needs to obtain a PIN, and this is found under the Browse Help on the FAFSA website. Once the student has obtained a PIN, they can begin filling out the rest of their paperwork. The first tab on filling out the FAFSA is the student demographic. The student demographic is basic information about the student that includes their name, address, phone number, date of birth, email, all the basic information you fill out on any paperwork. The second tab on the FAFSA is the school selection. On the school selection, there's a lookup button to find the school or schools that you want to apply to. After you've selected the school that you want your information sent to you, the next tab is the dependency tab. This tab asks many different questions that it's kind of small to read. This is just to get you familiar with what the page looks like. This asks many questions about the parents, the student situation, including whether they are married, single, their age. A student is considered independent if they are an orphan or a ward of the state, if they are age 24 or married, if they are a U.S. or veteran, member of the military, or if they are have one or more children dependent on their income. If a student does not meet the qualifications of an independent student, then they are considered dependent and have to use their parents' income. The next stage of the financial aid is the parent demographic. On the parent demographic, it's similar to the student demographic, but it includes information about the parents, their address, and basically the same information as the student, but this now applies to the parents. The next stage of the FAFSA is the financial page, which I've included the parent financial page on here because most of you, that will be the page that needs to be filled out. There's also a student financial page, but that is only filled out for dependent students. This is the form for dependent students to put all their parents' information. This is the page where you put all the information from the W-2s and income tax forms and any other income that is available. The last page of the FAFSA is the submit and sign page, which that is where you input the PIN and you're signing that that everything you've put in there is correct and valid and that you are now ready to submit your thing. The third phase in the FAFSA is following up with paperwork and any necessary additional paperwork to financial aid. This could include giving financial aid your driver's license for proof of identification or bringing in a copy of the tax return that was submitted so they can verify all the information is correct. And I'm sorry, I'm about to pass out. I can't finish, Mr. Daly.
Okay.
I'm ready to pass out.
Okay. All right, give her a round of applause.